Summers in the South bring with it plenty of heat. That makes things a little uncomfortable for anyone or anything outside, including animals. It's especially a concern for cattlemen as cows are unable to naturally cool their bodies.
If we think about the physiology, they don't sweat. So the basic way they get rid of heat is through respiration and getting to a place that's cooler. So what happens is they have a heat load and they accumulate heat over the day, so they need a time where they can dissipate that heat.
That usually takes a couple of hours after the hottest part of the day, which means there is a best time to work the herd.
Typically, we say earlier in the day is better when it's not hot, but we also say avoid the evening. So unlike us, we don't work in the evenings, because kind of going back to talking about how those animals function, they need that evening time to dissipate that heat.
And cattlemen across the state take this advice to heart as they get an early start and even make some modifications to their operation in order to make the animals more comfortable.
Well, during the summertime, especially if I've got to work cattle, I work them very early in the morning and get it done before the heat of the day. You can usually do this by 10 o'clock. And improvements I've made, I've got a self-waterer in my catch slot. So all the time I'm working them, they can get fresh water. I've got a Richie. There are other brands out there just as good, but that works for me.
And it certainly works for the cows as well, as this is one of the main comforts these animals need during the hot summer.
Shade and water. A good source of clean, fresh water helps them throughout the day maintain maintain their temperature. But also, if we're working those animals, we want to have shade available for those animals, and also watch those animals. They'll tell you if they're getting too hot. If we see that respiration rate go up, tongue out, saliva, then we know that they're getting too hot and we need to back off what we're doing with them.
Keeping the animals well groomed is also important, as the longer the hair, the more heat that can get trapped in.
There used to be a line running from east to west that they didn't feed Brahma cross cattle above that line, and they didn't feed the English cattle below that line. And it's because of the heat and what the hair does to them. It's just like you and I. The more clothes we got on in the summer, the hotter you get.
Speaking of hotter, cattle that are kept in barns or feedlots should be watched over even more carefully, as they are more likely to be affected by the heat.
If we're in a barn, we're typically thinking about animals on full feed or feedlot type rations. And those, we call them hot rations because they produce more heat through the fermentation of the rumen. So those animals that are under a barn or in a feedlot situation may actually accumulate heat faster. So we do need to handle those a little differently, be a little more cautious of how we handle them to avoid the heat stress.
Reporting from Athens, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.